Okay, so you know how everyone's been talking about that Diddy doc, the one that 50 Cent dropped and basically set the internet on fire? Well, hold on to your hats, because it looks like he's not done. Not even close. Word on the street, and by street I mean from the mouth of Jaguar Wright herself, is that Fifth is gearing up to take on the Carters. Jay-Z and Beyonce, yeah, you heard me right. Now, I know what you're thinking. 50 and Jay have had beef before, that's old news. But this isn't just about rap rivalries and ego clashes. Apparently, 50's digging deep. Like, really deep. Jaguar Wright is saying he's collecting receipts, getting testimonies, the whole 9 yards. And it's not just about Jay-Z's alleged shady dealings. Beyonce is supposedly in the crosshairs too. Let's rewind for a sec. Remember that time Beyonce covered a song in the club? There were whispers that 50 Cent wasn't feeling it, that he even blocked her version from getting airplay. Petty? Maybe. But it shows you there's been some low-key tension between them for years. And then there's the story 50 himself has told about how Beyonce supposedly tried to confront him over his beef with Jay. I mean, can you imagine Beyonce stepping to 50 Cent? That's a scene I would pay to see. But here's where things get seriously messy. According to Jaguar, this documentary isn't just about old grudges. It's about connecting some very serious dots. Allegedly, 50 is trying to show how the Carters might have benefited from Diddy's alleged, well, you know. And that's not all. There's also talk about 50 potentially investigating the death of Kathy White, Jay-Z's rumored mistress. Remember that whole situation? It's a dark cloud that's been hanging over Jay for years. Kathy White died under mysterious circumstances shortly after she was seen partying with Jay and Diddy. An aneurysm, they said. But people have always questioned the timing, the circumstances, everything. And if 50 Cent starts digging into that, man, all bets are off. This could get incredibly ugly, incredibly fast. Especially for Beyonce, you know how 50 is. He doesn't do anything halfway. He's not afraid to stir the pot, to name names, to expose secrets. If he's going after the Carters, you know he's got something big. Remember that caricature he posted of Jay-Z right after his Diddy doc dropped? People took that as a sign that Jay was next. And now, with Jaguar Wright confirming that Beyonce is also a target, this is about to blow up. Jaguar is claiming that Diddy has a tape that could prove foul play was involved in Kathy White's death and that the Carters will be exposed next. She even said that Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled and it's not a man. That's a pretty bold statement, right? It makes you wonder what exactly she knows. She also said Diddy should show them the tape and that he should probably stop looking for plastic surgeons because we gonna hang you high. Jay-Z too, Beyonce too, strong words. Now, let's dive a little deeper into this Kathy White situation because it's a key piece of this whole puzzle. Back in 2011, news outlets started reporting on the death of Kathy Corona White, referring to her as Jay-Z's alleged mistress. She was a Howard University grad, a public relations CEO, and seemingly had her life together. The reported cause of death was an aneurysm, but the rumors surrounding her and Jay-Z had been swirling for years. So, this Hot 107 article, it mentioned how Kathy had beefed with blogs before she died, specifically Hollywood Street King, who exposed the alleged affair. And this is where it gets messy, right? Because Hollywood Street King was on it. I mean, years before her death, they were posting about Jay-Z and Kathy being together, allegedly. They even had this photo from Tao nightclub in Vegas, showing Kathy, Jay-Z, and Diddy all at the same table. And where was Beyonce? Overseas, on tour. Now, I'm not saying anything, but the timing is definitely sus. Hollywood Street King claimed that Jay had been seeing Kathy even longer than he'd been married to Beyonce. That's a serious accusation. They said that Jay even requested Kathy bring friends to the boxing match so they wouldn't look like a couple. I mean, come on. And then bam, September 2011, Kathy White is dead. And just 5 days before that, Beyonce announces her pregnancy at the VMAs. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The internet went wild, connecting all the dots. The alleged affair, the sudden death, the pregnancy announcement. It all happened within a really tight time frame. And now, with the Diddy stuff blowing up and Jay-Z's name getting dragged into it, people are starting to revisit this whole Kathy White situation. They're wondering just how deep this rabbit hole goes. That's when this journalist, Liz Crokin, decided to speak out. She claims she interviewed Kathy shortly before she died, and she's not holding back. Back in 2017, she tweeted that when Kanye said Jay-Z has myrrh, she believes he's talking about the people who killed Kathy White. I mean, damn. And then, just a few weeks after Homeland Security raided Diddy's properties, she reposted that tweet, saying she knows everything, she knows what Jay-Z did, and that his time is coming. She even said he and Diddy can share a prison cell together. She's clearly got some strong feelings about this. She also shared a clip of Jaguar Wright saying Jay-Z is worse than Diddy, and wrote that nothing can stop the truth from coming out about Kathy White. She even threw in some stuff about satanic spirit cooking. I mean, this is getting into some wild territory. So, now we have 50 Cent supposedly wanting to dig into this whole story, just like he did with Tupac and Biggie. He wants to look at the circumstances surrounding Kathy White's death, and maybe even other people connected to the Carters who died under sketchy circumstances. Look, there's zero proof that Jay-Z and Beyonce had anything to do with Kathy White's death. Zero. But the internet is definitely buzzing about it. People are ready for 50 Cent to drop this documentary and expose whatever he can find. I saw one user on X wrote that Jay-Z is up next for having something to do with Aaliyah, Kathy White, and blackmailing other artists, getting rid of anyone who's a competition to Beyonce, and participating in sacrifices and rituals. I mean, some of these theories are pretty out there. Someone else said, 50 Cent did his thing with the Diddy doc, now Jay-Z and Beyonce are next, and that they're all weird. I mean, people are definitely ready to see Jay and Beyonce taken down a peg. They've been on that untouchable pedestal for so long, people are just waiting for them to fall. But here's the thing, is there actually anything there? Or is this just a conspiracy theory that's gotten way out of hand? Is the timeline just a coincidence? Or is there something about that whole Kathy White situation that just feels too off to ignore? I don't know, man, but I'm definitely going to be watching to see what 50 Cent comes up with. This could be huge, or it could be nothing. But either way, it's going to be interesting to watch it all unfold. Okay, so let's say 50 actually drops this thing. What's the fallout going to be? I mean, best case scenario for the Carters, it's just a bunch of old rumors and allegations that people have already heard. They deny everything, their fans rally around them, and it blows over in a few weeks. But let's be real, that's probably not going to happen. Worst case, 50 Cent actually has something. Like, real evidence of something shady. Then, things get messy. We're talking investigations, potential legal trouble, reputations completely destroyed. And let's not forget the court of public opinion. Even if they're not guilty of anything illegal, just the perception of wrongdoing could be enough to tank their careers. Think about R. Kelly. He was getting away with stuff for years, but once the dam broke, it was over. Could this be a similar situation for Jay and Bey? I don't know, but you gotta admit, the timing is interesting. All this stuff with Diddy coming out, and then this Kathy White stuff resurfacing, it's not a good look. And Beyonce, she's always been so carefully curated, so in control of her image. If 50 Cent can crack that facade, it could be devastating. People love to tear down icons, especially ones that seem untouchable. And let's be honest, Beyonce has been pretty untouchable for a long time. But here's the thing, even if 50 doesn't have a smoking gun, the very act of him making this documentary is gonna put pressure on Jay and Bey. They're gonna have to respond, they can't just ignore it, and anything they say or do is gonna be scrutinized. It's a no-win situation for them. And what about Diddy? Where does he fit into all of this? Is he gonna stay silent? Is he gonna try to defend himself? Or is he gonna throw Jay-Z and Beyonce under the bus to save his own skin? I mean, anything's possible at this point. This whole situation is like a house of cards, and it only takes one wrong move to bring it all crashing down. You know, it's wild to think about how much power 50 Cent has in this situation. He's just one guy with a camera and a platform, but he could potentially bring down two of the biggest names in music. It just goes to show you that in the age of social media and the internet, nobody is safe, not even the Carters. And the fans, they're eating this up. They're already picking sides, speculating about what's going to be revealed, and getting ready for a full-blown celebrity meltdown. It's like reality TV on steroids. But let's not forget about Kathy White. She's the one who's really at the center of all of this. She's not here to defend herself, and her name is being dragged through the mud. It's easy to get caught up in the drama and the celebrity gossip, but we should also remember that there's a real person at the heart of this story, and her death is still a mystery. So where does this all end? I honestly have no idea, but I can guarantee you one thing: it's going to be a wild ride. 50 Cent is not going to back down. Jay-Z and Beyonce are not going to go down without a fight, and the internet is going to be watching every single move. Get your popcorn ready, because this is going to be